Hello, my name is Patsy Ivy, and today I want to talk about writing my book and the spiritual experiences I had while I was doing that. On May 14th, 2019, I started writing my book. I've known a long time that I was going to write a book. I even knew the title from a dream that I had 5 years before I started to write it. I didn't know exactly what I was going to write about. I knew it was going to be about my life, but I didn't know what all was going to go in it. There were many things in my life that I really wasn't wanting to share. It became clear to me that what I was supposed to be writing about was all of my life, especially those things that I had difficulty talking about. Those were the experiences that still needed to be healed and needed to be shared. When I got back from the Paul Selig retreat, I was nudged to start writing, but I was also given some of what I was supposed to be writing about, and I was not ready to face those issues yet. You see, this is a book about my life, and it has been full of difficulties and experiences that were hard for me to talk about. Some of my concerns with writing the book was about what other people might say to my family members or what family members might feel when they read the book. This book was about my experiences, expressing my emotions, and forgiving everyone, especially myself. As I started to write, I also started to receive in my meditations and in my dreams what I needed to put in my book. They were experiences that I had forgotten about or repressed. I started to keep a journal so that I would remember them. I was also having different experiences of myself. I would get so cold, I'd have to wear a jacket and sweatpants, and it's summer in the South. My eyes would start burning and tearing even when I wasn't crying. I would wake up in the middle of the night and be meditating. I learned to feel my energy centers and could feel and direct the energy that went to them. I woke up one night and could feel the energy coming from the palms of my hand. I would get advice from my guides when I was in the in-between states of sleeping and waking. And I would have dreams that would make me feel really elated and dreams of past lives. My third eye activated and I had a headache for about 2 weeks, and it was a really bad headache. I stopped drinking coffee, I stopped using ice and my Yeti cup, and I couldn't use deodorant anymore because it made me break out in a rash, and I tried lots of them. I also stopped using plastic and started using glass and drinking spring water. It started off feeling like I was getting a gentle massage in my temples and in my forehead as I was going to sleep, and then it turned into feeling like I was getting a metal crown that was cranked up so hard that it was a part of my face. The intensities of the feelings come and go, but it never stops. It's a very physical sensation to me. It loves music and riding in the car and airplanes. And I say this because it gets much more active when I'm doing these things. It gets real tight. And sometimes when I'm standing in front of someone, my face feels like it's doing flips. The energy doesn't only affect the typical area that most people talk about with the third eye. It affects my entire face. My teeth even started to bleed. It causes my head to rock and to sway and to go in circles. And sometimes my face makes funny faces. And people will say, "Oh, the face you're making," but it's not on purpose. I can control the rocking some, but I can't control the faces that my face makes. And I get acne, and my skin has been really dry, and my hair started to fall out. I would often feel the presences of healers and a shaman that would come to visit me as I was getting ready to sleep, or I would wake up from my sleep and they'd be there. I also had the experience of a lower aspect of myself that was engaging me sexually as I slept. And I woke up one night and I was feeling being touched, and he was whispering in my ear in a language that I was unfamiliar with. My instincts had me roll over and say, "Word, I am word," to the one that I see before me. And I was scared, and I went back to sleep, but my guides told me in my sleep to not be afraid, that it was just a lower aspect of myself. What you fear, you call to you. What you damn, damns you back. What you bless, blesses you in return. A few quotes from Paul Selig in the Guides. I learned a lot about myself during this process of writing my book. I was made aware that writing this book was part of my awakening process, not only to help me get through this awakening, but to help others with their life and their awakening. Not only with the words that were written, but with the energy that was behind the words. I was made aware of my empathic abilities that I've had my whole life that I just did not understand. And I was also made aware of my knowing that I've also had my whole life that I just didn't listen to. In fact, I didn't listen a lot. If you listen to my other videos, you would have heard me say I knew that I needed to do something or knew that I should wait. It's a subtle knowledge that you get that you just know, and there's no explanation as to why. It's just best to follow the guidance. Writing my story about my life, I can clearly see where I was not listening to my inner guidance, and I knew it. Sometimes I would allow my empathic nature to override my inner guidance, and I would do things to please other people and end up hurting myself. But this was one of my many lessons that I learned in this lifetime. As you can see, writing a book can teach you a lot, and I suggest it for everyone. That doesn't mean you have to publish it. So that is where I will stop today. Peace and love to you all. Namaste.